Real talk for the bold, bruised, and built to last. Welcome to the Built This Way podcast with Patricia Muellen.
As you guys know, I took another little break. It wasn't very long, but if I was going to come back, it was going to be because of dogs and things dogs related. And I am so excited about today's guest. Welcome, Ryan Matthews, celebrity, y'all, dog trainer. He's the dog trainer to the stars. He has a company called World of Dog Training. And I met him when he has a couple. Instinct to Impact is another one. We're going to talk about both. And I met him through a previous podcast guest who is a rock star as well, Brandon Onet. You were just on her show. Welcome, Ryan.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing what we dive into today.
We have no idea. Our producer was just saying, hey, she probably sent you an outline. And I'm like, fuck no. We're rock dogging today. We met over the phone. And I try to usually not just do that, but we had such a good vibe talking. And I just love about talking about what you do. And I got to kind of hear you doing that actually in action while we were on the conversation.
Oh, so, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, the pet store weird guy with being kind of a dickhead. But yeah, love the pictures of Zeus behind you.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
So yeah, he has Belgian Malinois. And my husband also thanks you because he's like, we are not getting one. I'm like, yes, we are.
Oh, there's so much to handle. I think that they're great in the right hands, but yeah, they're a lot of dog.
I want one that would still need to train because it would keep me training. And I think they're awesome. You know, when I saw John Wick 4 and Halle Berry with hers, I was like,
I want that.
I want to be Halle Berry in all different ways. But anyways, welcome. And I'm so glad that you're here. And like, yeah, basically we're just having a conversation about life, if that answers your question. Yeah. So when I have people on, I'm usually like, I try to have an outline. I did not do that today. I went on your website.
Whoa.
I didn't want to go into too much of that. But, you know, to back up, I've had a lot of guests I never expected to have any guests.
Wow.
Like when I started the show, I have shared this. I did a very poor job and thought, I'll have some clients on as things will be entrepreneurial focused. And it won't be boring. I'll entertain people. But I really didn't think about that in like the forefront. So it really just blew. And no one will hear those episodes ever unless it's like my funeral eulogy, just to like. What I found is that where I'm finding joy with this and having fun is meeting people and hearing what makes them built this way. And you and I talking on the phone, we got a lot of shit in common.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, you're worth it. Thank you for acknowledging.
Thank you for saying that. That's awesome. Nobody says we're worth it. So how I asked you this, and I think this is a really cool way to start. How did you get into dog training?
Geez, not the way that most people do. It was back in the Army in 2002, quite a while ago. I was kind of dating myself. I trained military working dogs and went to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, and they certified me after, I think it was 11 weeks of handling, and you do the bite protection stuff and the detection, searching for the drugs and the bombs and all that fun stuff. And obedience as well. That's helpful. So yeah, that's how I got my start. Military working dogs.
How did you? We talked a little bit about this, but do you mind sharing any of that? It's like how you ended up going into the military and getting into the bomb.
Oh yeah, I'm game to go anywhere you want to go. I'm up for it. So
it was just an interesting story.
Yeah, everything and anything is on the table for me. It's no problem. So yeah, you know, when you get into detection, so which is a dog using its nose to search for something. I am a bit of a dog nerd, so I'll share like dog nerd stuff as we go. So we as humans have around 20 million olfactory senses in our noses. 20 million. Dogs have 200 million. So you can see why we use dogs to search for things like, you know, diabetes, cancer, cell phones in prisons, bombs, drugs, whatever. So when you first get into it in the military, they don't give you a bomb sniffing dog because that's like dangerous, right? If the dog's not careful, you can set stuff off. So the first dog you get is a narc dog, a drug dog. Well, what's so interesting was, let's see, that was back, I was like 21 years old. So just 4 years prior to me searching for drugs with a dog, I was dealing the drugs to other humans as a teenager. I got into some drug dealing, which is interesting. I literally stumbled upon it because I was walking to school and I found a brick in the middle of the road. And my buddy was like, "Man," we were walking to school together, and he's like, "Man, let's smoke it," you know? And I was like, "No, we're gonna sell it."
I
And it
was just
was
gonna ask what it was.
yeah, it was marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. First you said brick, and I was like, this
Oh
is some
yeah.
crazy. This
Well,
is ins
you know what a brick is, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
bricks come in a lot of different things, just so
Yeah,
you
true,
know.
true, true. Yeah,
Like, if you're in Miami, it's cocaine,
right.
like, so I'm like,
Yeah,
so it just depends on where you're at. So
right.
continue smoking the brick.
So my buddy said, "Let's smoke it," and I was like, "No, man, let's sell it." So what was so interesting is like that was my like entrepreneurial, uh, spirit got inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, so that it ended and, I kind of got addicted to it, not the drugs, because I would never actually do it, but I got addicted to being needed. I got addicted to people reaching out to me and having something that I wanted, right? Which was kind of interesting, right? So yeah, that's how so I didn't share that part. So as I was doing that, one day my friend wanted to take advantage of, the situation and he tried to rob me. And when he tried to rob me, I tried to stab the guy. And I didn't use the proper knife, I guess. I didn't really know what I was doing. So what ends up happening is you can see my fingers bend on camera. It's stuck
Oh my
this way
god.
because the knife slid and, cut my
Shit.
tendons, right? And so which is horrible because it's my right hand. For those of you listening, it's my right hand. My pinky will not bend straight, and when you're in the army, you have to salute officers, which is a straight hand
Oh,
to
no.
to the brim of your hat. Oh, man, you can't make this stuff up. And so this
Give it
guy
the pinky.
yeah, you can't make it up, man. And so um that's how I got into the drug thing, and then, this guy's like, "Hey, man, we're gonna kill you." They called my work, and they're like, "We're gonna kill you." And the truth is that I chose to run. He had a bigger crew and all this stuff, and so I chose to run. I went to the military recruiting office, and I said, "Hey, I'll join right now, but I want 2 things. Number 1, uh, I want to be stationed overseas because I wanted to run away, and number 2, I was like, I wanna be military police." There was something in me that knew, like, I needed to have discipline, I needed to change, but I didn't know how to change given how my life was, who I had around me. I didn't know how to change. But something within me knew that I needed to get that. And so the
Yeah, you were
military
seeking the tools
yeah, it
to get
was,
what you
and
needed. That's amazing.
facts. And so the military helped me with all of that. So I didn't join because I was patriotic, right? I joined because I was running away. I joined because I wanted to clean myself up, and it did allow me to do that and so much more. And so I was really fortunate enough to become the driver of the colonel in charge of the whole unit, like over 1,000 soldiers, and he became like a father figure. It was really incredible, and that's not a normal dynamic. I was very fortunate and blessed that way, and um,
Wow.
he kind of took a role of which my father didn't in some regards, like this elder wisdom, if you will. And and then after my time with driving the colonel was done, he's like, "What do you want to do, Matthews?" And I was like, "I want to work with dogs." And that's how I got it. He put me in for it. I was in Germany at the time, and we called the organization, the department better said, that does the canine assignments. And I said, "Hey, I'll go to Korea." They call it a consecutive overseas tour, a COT. And I said, "If you give me canine school, I'll go to Korea," which is normally you come stateside after being overseas. But I was like, "No, I like the overseas thing." And so that we used that as a negotiation and made it happen. And it was really, really an incredible experience.
Wow. So you get out of the military
Yep.
and then you make it your career again. In a
Okay,
s
so ish. I was gonna go back. So before I got out of the army, I volunteered to go to the war, and I signed up for 5 years, uh, and then I had to do 1 extra year so that I could deploy to combat. I didn't want to be in the service during a combat era and not serve in that environment. I felt like it was my duty, you know? And so after the war, I got out and I was going to go back overseas as a civilian contractor doing the same job, make like 3, 4 times the amount of money. But the paperwork didn't work out. They changed up the contract, yada, yada. So I ended up going overseas to the Marshall Islands, Kwajalein Atoll, which is such an incredible place. It's half a mile wide and 3.5 miles long.
You're
That's
like one
it.
of the few people that have ever been there.
Yeah. But it's actually a ballistic missile defense test site. It's an army base, but I was there as a civilian contractor, working a drug dog, wearing a T-shirt like this and a 9mm on my hip and a Belgian Malinois at the end of the leash. It was a really chill job, and it was exactly what I needed after the war, a reset, if you will.
Yeah.
But I met someone very special there, and this woman and I ended up being in a long distance relationship. Well, one day, uh, we had met back stateside in Utah, and we rented an ATV, and she was on the back of it, and I was driving. And I remember when we first started driving it, I was like having a lot of fun, and I put the helmet on, but I didn't strap it. And we start going, and she's on the back seat, and I noticed the faster I'd go, the tighter she'd grab me. So I'd go faster, and then she goes, hey, 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 pull over. And I was like, okay, I did. And I go, what? She's like, your helmet, fix it. I was like, no, I don't care. Don't worry about my helmet. It's fine. She's like, fix your helmet. And she gave me that look. And then she said some other things that I was like, okay, I'll definitely put on the helmet properly. She
Yeah.
straps my helmet, and this is relevant. So then 15, 30 minutes later, we're now going through the trails through the mountains in Utah. No one's around. Cell phones don't work. We're then on this loot gravel trail, if you will. Yeah. And I remember I looked down at the speedometer. I saw 52 miles per hour, and I was going too fast. You see, I had only been on an ATV one other time in my life, and so I didn't have experience.
Oh
And
shit.
so we were going 52, and I could feel that I was losing control over it. I tried to lean, right, to try to stay on. Couldn't. I flew that thing over the trail, over
Oh,
the mountain cliff. She stayed on. She held on to the back rack. The ATV tumbled. She tumbled with it. Boom, it crashed her body. She needed
oh
to
my
fight
God.
for life. I woke up in the stream down below, like choking up water. I think I passed out for a little bit or something. And so to make a long story short, I moved to Colorado to help her. Right. And part of it was my duty because I had so much guilt for so many years around that. And I moved there to help her, to nurse her back, to get her back to how she was. And so when I was in Colorado, I was like, I got to start working at some point here. And I started to shadow some dog trainers. I would just tag along. And then the stuff they were saying, I'm like, and then seeing how people would pay them. And I'm like, this is crazy easy. I can't believe this. Then some of the trainers would pay me to go to their lessons for them so that they wouldn't. And some would hire me as like a consultant. And I'm like, I'm just new to this stuff. But they would be like, no, I want your opinion on this case. Okay. Next thing you know, I start researching. I bought into a franchise for $12,500. My first month, I made 10K, and then I was like, okay, I'm onto something here. And that was in
Are you still with
2008.
Are you still with the franchise?
No, no, no. Now I have my own. Now I train people to become trainers,
Wow.
and the whole idea is I can reduce euthanasia by sharing this system. I have like a 99% success rate. Like the system really works. The idea is have a bunch of mini-me's. These people will make a six-figure income, right? But they get to serve their community. They get
Uh-huh.
to help confused dogs and frustrated people better understand one another and live a good life together. It's really that simple.
The euthanasia thing, is that because people can't take the dog, they just put them, take them to the pound, whatever, and they
They
get
give
put
up.
down. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they'll
Oh,
give up.
that's so heartbreaking.
Or because of
Okay.
aggression.
Because we talked about this too, about energy
Mm,
and dogs feeling your energy too off the owner.
absolutely.
So if they're frustrated and they're getting flustered and they don't understand how to get the dog to do what it needs to do or just behave
Right.
for that matter, then yeah, the dog's gonna start acting like that also. It
Yeah,
makes a
you
lot of
got it.
sense. A lot of high
Yeah.
strung, like kind of crazy people have like really high strung pets.
Yeah, I always say energy runs down leash.
Yeah, I'm like, I have good energy. That's so cool. My dogs are so
Yeah.
cute. It's
So the
like,
dogs
he's
are
like,
chill. That's how it
yeah.
works.
He just listens. I've always talked to him like a people. We call him a pog, people dog. He yeah, well, he probably says, to other dogs, if they're barking and they're like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Baby." There's only babies here. There's no dogs, because he doesn't know he's a dog. We let him get on the bed. I feed him because the one thing as a trainer that would drive you nuts is that he does come and ask, but he does it so politely,
What,
and he'll
he comes and
sit
asks you for stuff?
for food. Yeah,
Oh,
like if
yeah.
I'm eating and things, but that's my habit that I created that I did not ever break.
Yeah.
That's
It
not his fault at
it
all.
usually stems from, like, childhood and how things were with you as a kid, and then, like, what food, like, I'm part Italian and Mexican, right? So, like, food is a big part of that culture, and so giving food is a big deal, and my grandma, she's the 93-year-old Italian. She's always coming over and she wants to feed Zeus, and so, yeah, it's
Okay.
some of how we're brought up too.
Yeah, or could say that I'm in a sense, just buying affection as well,
Mm.
in a weird way, but it's not that I'm not. I mean, I also kiss him in the mouth, and they're like, I break basically all the rules. They're like, "Don't look a dog in the eyes." I do. I used to pick him up, put him upside down, and crate him like a
Oh,
baby.
that's sweet.
So desensitized to my bullshit, but like it's like,
He's bomb proof. No, the eye thing, yeah, I don't agree with that. I would say if a dog is very fearful. I had a client yesterday. They just got the dog. They've had it 2 days, and, the dog would just hide in the backyard. They couldn't get the dog inside the house. It wouldn't interact or nothing like that, and so that's a dog that, yeah, I'm not gonna do the eye contact thing with that dog, but other dogs, I don't see that as an issue.
okay, well, I was as a kid, there was always these certain rules that my parents did. They told me. I don't know how great of dog people they were. But I've always had them, and,
Yeah.
like, they make me a better person. When I lost
Mhm.
my dog Bach,
Mm.
it changed me. I know I was not the greatest version of myself for at least 6 months after that. It makes me sick talking about it because I felt like a part of my soul died,
Oh, wow, yeah.
but, like, yeah, our pets are definitely important, and, for you, they're not all just pets too. You probably work with a lot of people that work with actual working dogs, working animals, and you work with horses too, right? You were just
Yeah,
talking.
so I don't, but I've seen the power of horses. In fact, someone asked me pretty recently about, like, when did you get into animals? And it was actually, my love for animals started with horses. When I was 5 years old, my mom would take me to this property where this horse would always be out at, and we would just go to the fence line, and we would stand at the fence, and we would give the horse, like, carrots or apples, if I remember correctly. And I just remember, like, looking up at this majestic animal, and, like,
They
with a
are.
horse, you can feel their energy. And so horses was the first animals that I fell in love with, and though, dogs and horses are actually opposites, one's prey, one's predator. And I think that part's kind of very interesting, and so, no, I'm not the horse person, I'm the dog guy, but I've experienced the power of horses, and so I've combined forces with Sydney Jackson, who's a performance horse trainer. She's based out of Utah, and we have a company called Instinct 2, the number 2 Impact, Instinct to Impact, and what we do is we teach humans lessons rather than through a keynote speech. We do experiential learning for organizations, and we teach things like communication and leadership, self awareness. Because if a human tells you something, right, like, well, you're just saying that rude, or you don't have patience, or you're just too slow, or you're not decisive, you don't take action, right? It doesn't land the same. In fact, people put up walls. However, if we can put people through drills and experiences that will highlight the good or the areas of improvement of a human through the animals, then the animal is teaching the lesson and people's barriers are down with the animals. And there's something where they say that words don't always teach, but experiences do. And that's why we're doing this experiential learning stuff.
That is incredibly interesting, and for an organization, like, what a great different way. Because there's a lot of companies that, like, I've tried everything. They're not gonna listen to this guy. Just come in our conference
Right.
room and try. I just imagine like the show The Office with
Right.
Michael. He's always had like this workshop, and I was like underlyingly pissed off or bitter or jaded because it's not addressing the thing, but it's taking them outside of the norm. But
Absolutely.
it's like but being around them, like you can't help but open up your soul a little too, right?
Exactly. Yes. So
So
you're letting down the defenses. And again, I think that there's power in that energy. And there's the power of you going through it with your own hands, your own eyes. And I think it hits different.
yeah, definitely. So the celebrity part about it, I'm curious.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
more.
like it,
Like
it just it just evolved.
you're in California, so that
I'm in
makes a lot of
California,
sense.
so
Yeah, there's a lot of
yes.
celebrities there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it started with actually like my last, like maybe you could call it near death experience, or when I thought I was going to die. It was this moment that I was about to pass out, and I didn't know if I was passing out to pass out or pass out to die. Now, I had had a heart attack prior to this, like maybe 8 years prior, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. You seem so young
Oh yeah,
already.
I was 30 when that happened.
Jesus.
That's what the doctors always say. "Oh, you're so," it's like you could bet money, like,
Mm.
bet however much you want. Like, you'll if you bet money, the doctor's gonna say you were so young, like, you'll win every time. They always say that, it's funny. Just like dog people,
Right.
when clients call me, "My dog bites my kid, but, she's a good girl." I'm like, "That's not good, man." It's so funny. It's like you could bet money on it. But but yeah,
That's
I
easy to put down. I just, I'd rather put my kid down.
yeah, yeah, throw them under the bus, not the dog. No, you can't do that, man.
But my kid's
Um
not a good kid, so in the dog's defense, kid's
Yeah.
good.
Um, so
But
let's
yeah,
see,
so
what
you're
was the
6.
point before
You were
the
talking about the health issues, which was seriously serious, and then I started joking. No, no.
Oh, yeah, no, oh, you said the celebrity thing.
Yeah.
Um, and
But you said you
so
went through some serious things in your heart attack before 30, which was like,
yeah, yeah, I ended up having, stage 3 colon cancer when I was 30, and
shit.
they told me that, they told me that I could take a really tough chemotherapy because I was young. And that tough chemotherapy, it's tough on the heart. Well, sure enough, I had the widowmaker heart attack on the 4th of July, uh, at 1:30 AM, and, that which I wasn't willing to go to the hospital because I had my first chemo. I thought the chemo was kicking my ass, but it wasn't the chemo. In fact, I even told my
Sleeping at this point?
I'm sorry?
Were you sleeping and then had a
No,
heart
I
attack?
was up
Like,
well, that's
okay.
another thing. Part of combat is, like, 4th of July can be stressful because it reminds you of the war, the sounds, the sights, and all this kinda stuff. So, normally, I would go to the mountains. I was living in Colorado, and I'd go to the middle of nowhere where it's quiet, no fireworks, no stuff. I was avoiding my trauma, I was avoiding my triggers and all that kinda stuff, right? But this year, I had a client, it was a chocolate lab puppy, 5 months old, I remember. I don't remember the dog's name or the people's name, but I remember that chocolate lab stayed at our house, and I had to train it through a boarding train where I keep it at my house. So that puppy, because I trained it, I had to stay in town, and because I was in town, I was close enough to a hospital, and so I was able to
Uh,
get what I
the
needed.
puppy saved your life.
Yeah, that's how I say it. Many times dogs have, and that's why I still do what I do because I'm like, they've just done so much for me, and I'm just like, my turn to serve them now, you know?
Wow, that's so deep, but, like, also so like, can I ask how old are you now?
45.
Shit, that was, like, 15 years ago or more,
Yeah, yeah.
and you look so good and
Oh,
so
thank you.
healthy, and
Yeah,
you shape.
people say like, "Oh, I can't tell you've been through that stuff."
But I think that people that have been through a lot of that stuff tend to take care of themselves more. There's something about
Mm.
appreciation for, like, your body, your life, and things around you. I know I have. Going through a lot of health things, it's like I always thought it was a priority, but the shift that happened after the really serious stuff was on I took it way more. Like, I feel like I look younger now than
Oh,
I
that's
did
great.
15 years ago because of some of the stuff
Yes.
that I've taken for my own wellness.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I could say, like, I just did Ibu a few weeks ago, which is where they take your blood out, they filter it, oxygenate it,
Oh,
and they put it
okay.
back in you. I do stem cells. I'm into all this kind of but I guess, yeah, I just got into, like, this biohacking and all that kinda stuff,
Me
but
too.
yeah,
Well,
I like it. But I just
biohacking.
like to feel good, man, like, I wanna
Talking
feel
about
good.
you're talking about EBOO and stem cells. I'm like, "Shit, that's a level I haven't gotten broken open yet." Like, I need to,
Oh,
like, do
yeah.
it. But, I mean, yeah, I was always the one that didn't I took pride internally on not taking a bunch of supplements or not going to the doctor, not having all these things, and then like insert, all these fertility issues I had, and then insert all the hip replacements that I had, and insert all the
Oh,
other
wow.
bullshit. And then I was like, you know what? Everything that was supposed to naturally happen, and just, I ate the right foods, I did the right things, this fucking bullshit, like whether it was what's in our food or whatever, the environments that I was in, the water I'm drinking, I don't know, but like I am okay with physically, intravenously putting that shit back in my body to
Mm.
make me feel better. And the time that I'm here, I'm going to continue to feel better.
Yes.
Period. So I do prioritize my water drinking now. It's
Oh,
right here.
yeah.
I didn't do that
Yeah.
before. I was always drinking mostly coffee, but
Oh, okay.
I lift heavy shit. No one told me in my early 20s. They're like, you should do cardio. You're a woman. And I was always on the fucking elliptical. No, you're supposed to pick up heavy things. You get to
Yes.
your 40s, like things start to break down and go backwards. In fact, in your 30s, that shit happens. You're the one
Yeah.
with the heart attack and stuff. You
Yeah.
know better than anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no shame in the biohacking or peptide or whatever game.
Oh, yeah,
Where,
yeah. Peptides is next. Yeah.
yeah, you look super, super, like your skin looks amazing.
Oh,
Like when we
thanks.
get off
It's
this
the
call,
lighting.
tell me what it is that you're doing. I need to know.
It's just the lighting. No, I'm kidding.
But I don't look at it when I see people that have things done or anything else. I just personally had some things done myself. Like not when I see like Bunny Jelly Rolls, now soon to be ex-wife, Bunny XO, she had a facelift. That shit was terrifying.
Oh,
And I will
wow.
not do that. Yeah.
What happened with them? They're splitting up. What happened?
I
I don't
don't
pay attention to news or
know, because
stuff.
they still talk so good about each other, which is why
Oh,
people like them. Like their whole shtick was that they had like this really seedy background, both of them, and then they did really, they turned it around, and then they got together, and then like together they created this empire of doing
yeah.
good, and he found God, and all this, or they did. And she's an excellent podcaster, so I love seeing
Mm.
the stuff that she talks about. I mean, she talks about stuff that like people don't talk about, like
Mm.
shaving her hoo-ha and all kinds of things. Like, I mean, but, and she used to be an escort. She talks about that. Like, she's like a literal shame. So I'm like, after all that, all the things, everything that you guys have been through, all the cheating, all the stuff, what could possibly make you fucking get divorced now?
Right.
For real. But they're
Or
not
when
upset at
you
each other
yeah, when your
publicly.
mindset shifts too though, right? Sometimes you don't grow together, you can, like, grow apart, and it's because one is choosing a different path of their ideologies and this type of stuff maybe? I don't know.
When I was younger, I got married for, it was probably not as long as a pregnancy because if I could have mulliganed it or annulled it, it would have happened. Like, but it was the age, and like I was not the same person I am today. I wasn't the same
Mm.
person 10 years after that, a year after that, 5 years after that. And the time I met my husband, that is actually my actual real husband, not the mulligan before. And ironically, my last name's Mullen. That's
Oh,
fun, right?
okay.
He's not the mulligan though. But like we've even grown and changed together over the last 15 years.
Mm,
That's all. We'll be married 15 years. Just I'm like, damn, we're not even the same people then, but we're better, cooler. I feel like about it. Um, we just had to go through some really hard shit together, and then we
mm.
became cooler together, I think.
Yeah, you can come closer from that
But you gotta
stuff.
find that right person, otherwise it's like, yeah. But with that and them, I don't know, it makes me sad. It's like if Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn broke up, I would be heartbroken. Because like they're like the last ones in Hollywood, but they never got married, and that's like why. They're
Oh,
st-
they didn't? Okay.
yeah.
I don't
Um,
I don't pay attention to a lot of the Hollywood stuff,
I was gonna
surprisingly.
say you're the one that knows celebrities, so you
Mm.
could tell me like
Yeah, I mean, I don't work with a lot of them, but decent amount. Like, the 2 that I've worked with the most would be Cynthia Erivo from the movie Wicked. She's
yeah,
the green lady. Yeah,
that's a big one.
she's yeah, met her, like, 4 years ago, and she was doing really well, but she's really blown up over the past few years.
Hell yeah, she has.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I was
she's
just thinking about
really talented. She's a very special person. She's a very special soul. She really is.
that's
When
amazing.
she talks to you and she looks at you, even though her hair person is right there, the chef is there, her 5 assistants, whatever, all these people are around, you think you're the only one in the room. She is just so intentional and so kind of a human. Um, She has a great energy. It's like very gentle yet very powerful. It's like a really cool balance. Yeah,
So
she's very special.
are you helping her with her and her dog, or are you helping her learn how to train dogs?
Oh no, she wouldn't. She don't got no time for that. Uh,
Like, I was like, what would
no,
she do?
she has two little dogs that not Chi, Gigi and Caleb. She has two little
Okay.
dogs. The real little one's like 3 pounds. She's a gangster. That dog is like a Belgian Malinois. That dog is so special. And she's got a huge spirit and a whole lot of energy, that little thing. Oh, man, I adore her. And then Caleb's, like, the more, like, grumpy old man. He's, like, real chill. But they have a cool pack, and they stay at the house sometimes, with Zeus, so I have the Malinois, so these 2 little dogs chilling with Zeus, it's funny.
That's so
And
cool.
yeah, it's cool, and then the other one is the Liver King, which I've worked with Liver King every month for, like, 3.5 years. I would go out there to Texas. And so he has been my longest standing client. He just had do you know Liver King? He's kind
No,
of
I don't.
okay, he's kind of interesting guy. He had a Netflix show come out,
Okay.
like, maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, but before that, he's known as, like, this eating raw meat, really buff guy, and, he's the CEO of Ancestral Supplements, which is, like, a really huge company. A lot of people that are into the biohacking know that brand, Ancestral
Okay.
Supplements, yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy ripped.
He's
Like, it's
crazy ripped, right?
insane. Yeah. Like, he could have played like He-Man's dad in
Yeah,
He-Man.
he'd do good with that, like, barbarian Viking kinda role, right?
Yeah, like
Or a
for
wrestler, 'cause
yeah, they
he's
decided to relaunch Vikings or something. He's got the hair and everything to go with
Uh-huh.
it. What a
Yeah,
great
yeah.
show that was too. So random.
So
There was a celebrity you could work with that you're like, "Oh, I hope they would call," like, who would that be?
oh, you know what? That's, like, a really great question because it's relevant to, like, manifestation, right?
And so if they hear it and,
Hmm.
like, we could, like, be like, "Hey, they want me to he wants me to
I
train."
don't know if it's like a celebrity, but I would say, um, Esther Hicks from Abraham Hicks, and she's into the law of attraction. Do you know about that stuff?
I do, but I'm like, I'm having a blank on
Okay,
who
so Esther
who she
Hicks,
is.
she channels this entity, this higher power, knowledge of information called Abraham Hicks. I know it sounds crazy, but
Okay.
welcome to the show. And she's really big into law of attraction, and it would be really cool to work with her and her dogs if she even had any. Or I don't know, I've never really thought about this. Tony Robbins would be really cool too.
Oh my gosh, it's right up your line of, like, your way of
Yeah.
thinking things
'Cause
too.
yeah, 'cause he's interesting to me, like, the way he thinks but I would like to see how he does with a dog 'cause he seems like he's pretty solid in a lot of ways, and again, I can learn a lot about a human through how their dog is. Speaking of that, one that I wouldn't wanna work with would be and by the way, this is not a political thing by any means, Biden. Biden had 2 German Shepherds that continuously were attacking people, and I would not wanna work with Biden. I wouldn't,
Mhm.
because he doesn't have the energy to be able to
Actually,
manage those German Shepherds, because those shepherds, it sounds like of course, I didn't get my eyes on the dogs, bring on what I call big dog energy,
yeah,
and Biden is not bringing big dog energy, so those are
they think they rule the house. There's no
Yes.
authoritative figure
Did
in
you hear
there. And
about that though? Where
then
his dogs were,
no,
like, biting Secret Service and shit like that?
no.
Yeah. But
There was
that's
so
one
much.
celebrity I wouldn't wanna work with.
Oh my god. And I feel like Tony Robbins would sit down and kneel with the dog and then basically tell him about or her about their puppy trauma, their mom or something, and, and tell them to forgive their parents for, letting them go so young as the litter and all that, because it's a very
That
Tony
would be a trip,
thing to
right?
do. He'd be like, this is really stemming from when you were first, separating from the litter, and you really should, like, look at it because it wasn't your parents' fault. They're not the responsible that they were adopted out, on Craigslist,
That
and then,
sounds like a fun skit. That's
it
funny.
would be. He should redo it. So we're gonna get Tony Robbins for sure. We'll tag him, and we're gonna get him to, like, at least do a skit where he's, you have him come in as the trainer. I have like the Caesar Milan that like feel like vibe going
Yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah.
like the dog whisperer thing. Except you have to come up with something else, not tss, tss.
Yeah.
Like it was always like tss, tss. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, he
Do you
does that, right?
say?
That
Yeah,
Caesar's great, by the way. Caesar's really good.
he seems like
Caesar is
a really nice person.
yeah. Yeah, he is. He and I are similar, like, we're both into the energy and stuff. We both have a bit of roots in Costa Rica, although he's obviously Mexicano, but he's on the board of Rhythmia. Rhythmia is, a psychedelic, journey, healing center.
Oh,
He's on the board.
is it like where they do like that? What is it? Not
Ayahuasca?
yeah.
Yeah, they do stuff like that, I'd imagine. I've never been there. Um,
I've heard of this. Would you do it? Ayahuasca?
I I would, but I've done multiple psychedelic journeys for therapy, by the way. I never do it for fun. It's always
Did
for
they make
therapy.
you puke and shit your brains out and cry and wish you wanted to die? Because I heard that's what ayahuasca does.
That's
And then you're
ayahuasca.
yeah, then
Nah,
you're fine.
nah. The ones that I've done, none of that happens, but you definitely see stuff and you definitely imagine dying and coming back kind of thing, or
Fuck.
imagine understanding things that you were never able to grasp before.
Can I ask, like, so for you and when, because you were talking about trauma,
Yeah.
PTSD, all the things, I'm sure you have tried traditional therapy and whatever.
Yes.
I want to get into that for you with,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you've
whatever.
mentioned a couple things that I am very interested into, and like breath work and meditation is
Mhm.
just a few of those. I haven't taken psychedelics for that reason. I mean, I
Okay.
have tried mushrooms. I'll tell you that I got a crazy ass mushroom story, but that was like
I have
not
a crazy
for
mushroom
food
story too.
purposes either. It just ended up with me like crying because I heard children in my walls and I ate way too much.
Oh,
But that
wow.
was like 20 plus years ago. So that was like party pee. This is
It might be fun to share our mushroom journey because I had one too back when I was in the army. And for that
in the
reason,
army.
yeah, that was a little wild. But it it makes it now so that I will only do this stuff as a mode of therapy in controlled setting. I don't do it for recreation or fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's your mushroom story?
All right.
I
So
like your
I was in the army. I was on, they call it a deployment. It was more like, felt like a vacation to Croatia, uh, with, again, the colonel like created a position for me. And it was so pathetic. Like, I would sleep in so late that I would miss breakfast time. It was like, they're like, no, we're not serving breakfast no more. They're like, it's lunchtime now. I was like, okay.
that's messed
It
up. Yeah.
was, it, it was, I had it made, man. So anyways, I met some army guys there on the deployment, and we were all stationed in Germany. And we're like, "Hey, after this deployment, let's go to Amsterdam." I was like, "I'm down. I've never been there, right?" But so I don't know these guys that well. So we're done with the deployment. We're back in Germany, and we're now planning this road trip to Amsterdam. And we rent this Mercedes, which has a big trunk. That's relevant for later, by the way. And there's like 5 of us that drive down to Amsterdam, and we're gonna do what you would expect 20-year-old army guys would do in Amsterdam, right? Well, one of the things is some of the guys I think had experience with mushrooms. Me, never tried it, didn't know nothing about it.
Great. Why not do it in Amsterdam with a bunch of people you barely know?
Yeah,
Look
and I
awesome.
mean, it seemed legit. There's like, you go in this store, like you would go in and order a coffee. There's a menu, and I remember there was like Thai or Mexican, if I remember correctly. This was I this is dating myself. This is like 24 years ago, you guys. Just let's ignore that part. And
Yes.
so I
So,
ordered I ordered Mexican or Thai. I don't remember which type. And so I told the guys, I said, before I ordered, I said, "Guys, how much should I order?" And they were like, "Just get like 5 or 6." I was like, "Okay." So I go to the counter and I ordered, let's just say 5. I ordered 5. Well, when, I received back what I ordered, it was 5 bags, and in every bag was 5 or 6 mushrooms, okay? And the guys meant get 5
I
mushrooms.
get a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah. 5 or 6 bags.
yeah, but I got 5 bags, but they meant get 5 mushrooms. So I didn't understand that because this is all new for me. So you don't know what you don't know, people. So I get my 5 bags, which had 5 or 6 mushrooms in each bag. So we're looking at like 25 to 30 of them. And I had never done them before. And by the way, just on a side note, I don't drink much at all anymore. But if I do, I'm buzzed on like 1 drink, definitely 2. 2 drinks, I'm buzzed. So I'm a little bitch. I'm sensitive to substances. I am, straight up. No,
No,
I
I'm just
am.
thinking,
I got that warrior spirit, but
down
little
30 mushrooms.
substances, boom, I'm calm, man.
This is
And
not, I don't know how you're alive. Like,
so we go to the
I had a
bar.
heart attack and like, that's cancer. So like you have a lot going on.
Been through some things. I've been tested, and so
Oh my God.
each day's a gift, and I'm really happy to be here. That's for sure.
This is
So
crazy.
we go to the bar, and we order a beer, and I'm like, how do we do this stuff? And they're like, just you just mash them up, and you grind it up in the bag. You don't even have to take it out. You just with your hands make it like powder, and then you just chase it. Well, I was obviously nervous. It was my first time, so
You're smashing all these
I was
bags.
slow. Yeah. But no, not yet, because I was delayed. I was delayed.
Oh, I'm just imagining you smashing 5 or 6 bags.
I was later, but no one noticed because I was so delayed and so nervous. They were already having their experience probably.
So they didn't care.
So and they don't care. No one said nothing. So I'm like doing the powder thing, boom, chase it, next one, boom. Well, they already did theirs. So then next thing you know, we find ourselves at the Hard Rock Cafe. By this time, we're all together, 5 of us. At the Hard Rock Cafe, we just go in there and we just sit down and we just stare at each other. And then the waiter comes, would you guys like something? We're like, no, we're okay. Thank you. They come back 5-10 minutes later. Hey guys, what would you like to order? We're like, oh no, we don't need anything, thanks. And we're just sitting there and we're just tripping out on whatever we're seeing. They come back one more time. They're like, would you like to order? We're like, no. They're like, you can't sit here. You have to order something. So there's 5 army guys, and the one guy goes, I'll order an ice cream for 5 of us, right? He's like, I'll take 5 spoons. And so they bring the ice cream, set it in the middle of the table. No one touches it. We start to see this ice cream melting off the table, just taking over the whole place. And we're just staring at it like it was an art piece, like, oh my God.
Like the steak puff marshmallow, man. Like it's taking over.
Yeah. Like, oh no. Oh my God. And then I remember trying to stand up and I just smacked myself and run into the big glass window. It was like hard to walk. And then we leave. Oh, well, the guy finally paid, but he ended up leaving his credit card is what we found out. And who knows what happened with that. And so we all start walking, and then we start to split up. So we went from 5 down to 3. And next thing you know, I am by myself at the town square wrestling with a bike with the tire in my mouth like I'm a dog trying to tear a toy up.
This is like The Hangover.
Yeah. I was like a madman. It was crazy. Well, to make it worse, I had a neck knife. Do you know what a neck knife is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for those of you listening that don't know what a neck knife is, it's a necklace, and then you have this plastic sleeve, if you will, that you put this flat knife in. Yeah, you can pull it down. Somehow, I must have shown it to someone or something. I don't know, because the cops come, and I don't speak Dutch or whatever they speak, right? And all they wanted was my knife. I don't know how they knew I had it. They just take the knife. I go back to biting on the tire of the bike. Well, after my mouth was full of, rubber.
Deranged. He's a deranged
I was
soldier.
like a fucking deranged, crazy madman, like on rabies or some crazy shit. I don't know. And so then I find myself at the park by myself now. I'm at the park. I'm like at the edge of the water, like playing with the mud. I don't know why or what that was about. Next thing you know, I wake up and I'm strapped, tied up. I'm tied up and I'm restrained. I'm in a hospital bed and I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you guys tying me up like this? They're like, you try to fight us. And they're like, and we didn't know who you were. But the good news is we went through your wallet. We saw your U.S. U.S. soldier. I was like, I am. They're like, we talked to the army. I was like, who? Because
Oh,
you're always in
you're
trouble.
in
You're always worried about
trouble.
getting in trouble. They're like, well, we found out you're from Europe Command. I said, true. They're like, and then we called we found you were military police. So it trickled down, and they talked to like multiple people, and they're like, your first sergeant just called. He wants you to call him back. I was like, oh fuck. And
Yeah.
so I called the first sergeant. He's like, what the fuck, Matthews? What are you doing? You getting fucked up over there in Amsterdam? I'm like, yes, for sergeant. He's like, you just drinking or what? I'm like, oh yeah, just drinking too much. I was like, it's my bad. He's like, get your ass back over here. Well, okay. Well, the cool thing, by the way, is no bill. I don't know how. They didn't charge me nothing. I was just able to walk out of there. That was really cool. Now, the
Maybe they have
crazy
just
part was
healthcare there.
that Mercedes. Yeah, that Mercedes was in a parking garage, but I don't know how I was able to find it.
Holy
And
shit.
they recruited some more of the guys, but I remember there was like, there wasn't room because of our luggage or some shit like that. So I ended up sleeping in the trunk once I found the car. We waited half a day
Your suit
for,
was big enough, like you said.
yeah, yeah. We waited for one of the other guys, couldn't find him. We just left, and we headed back to Germany and had to do a drug test, but they didn't turn my urine in soon enough, so the drug test got thrown out, and so
Oh my
I
God.
got away with it.
And a good thing you didn't get pulled over by somebody else and then like wondering why there's a dude sleeping in the back of a
Oh
truck.
yeah. Well, by that time, I think I moved to one of the seats inside, but I mean, it made sense in my
Over the
simple
border.
brain.
Oh
It's a
wait,
lot of
yeah, our
space.
buddy Ryan's in back. Hold on. Just
Yeah. Knock, knock.
like hopefully it's not hot out. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So you can
Man.
see why I would be, really into respecting psychedelics now.
Well, no shit. I don't even remember how because we were talking about like what you have done, and then we went into the mushroom story and all that. And then we brought up the ayahuasca thing. What
Uh,
about like meditation and
oh yeah. I think all of us. Absolutely. Yeah. For
yeah,
me, I try to meditate in my sauna. So I have a sauna like 150 degrees in my garage
okay.
that I'll sit in the sauna, and while I'm doing that, I'll play, kinda psychedelic medicine music, and I'll meditate during that heat, and
Okay.
that's kinda nice.
It's like one of those like 432 hertz, whatever or
Oh,
something.
I'm not that far with it, but
Yeah.
that is true. I hear about the hertz, and the
So
stuff is relevant.
I use this app called Insight Timer. So when I
Okay,
moved
yeah.
to, into Key West like a couple years ago, I met a woman that did breath work and I was like, that sounds like cokey and woo and shit. And it's not for me. And then we did a Zoom breathwork session and she'd be yelling and everything. And like, I swear to God, the shit worked. I was good for like 6 months. And then
Wow.
6 months later, I had to call her and do another one back because I'd started meditating like right when I started doing that.
Nice.
And I found that app and it's a free app. You can pay for
Mhm.
your membership. But what I like about it is there's thousands of all different types of like meditations or guided talk throughs or breath work or whatever. And if you only have 2 minutes, you can find a 2 minute one.
Yep.
If you want 10 minutes, you can find a 10-minute one. So that's more of how I learned about like the different megahertz
Oh,
music,
that's cool.
like does different things because, depending on like the time of the day or the moon or whatever, like I not in the tarot, but I'm kind of like I'm interested in it because of
Nice.
what it makes you think about and things. So like, and I'm a Christian, so I'll just say that. And things because like I know that there's a controversy on TikTok right now because
Oh,
my
there
favorite
is.
tarot reader, Alex, she quit and went online and talked about because she found Jesus
Huh.
and that she can't do this anymore, and she deleted all of her videos. Like she
Oh,
was in
wow.
like oh God, what's that? There's a singer who's like a newer singer. She was like mentioned in one of her songs, so she had millions and millions of followers.
Huh.
Can you imagine just walking away from something like you've got the follow? Like all of us work so hard, right?
Yeah.
To build our brands and to be recognized and to teach what you're passionate about and what you love. And it would be like you one day getting up and saying, I'm not going to dog train anymore. Turns out I don't like dogs. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it would be like. That's basically what happened. It was weird, and it was like,
I'm really a
huh?
cat person.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It turns out it's like just fuck all animals altogether.
Oh, no.
Four-legged little like just terrorists. No, but it would be like you saying something like that.
Yeah,
And it'd be
yeah, yeah.
like, that's weird.
Where did that
But
come from?
Yeah, I've been just kind of over the last several years open to all of the things, I guess, that you said that make you feel good.
Yeah.
And, my first guest was a minister. And I brought him on because I swore so much that first episode, but it was so freeing. I was like, people probably think I'm like the devil, and I'm in Alabama at the time, so I was like, I should probably have Eric on, like, just like that. But I'm a good person too. But then I ended up swearing on that episode with him, but he was cool. He
Oh,
actually
that's awesome.
he just started his own podcast.
Oh, nice. You inspired him, see?
I have two people that were guests that have started.
Oh, that's cool.
You should be the third. Start
It's
your own. Do
possible.
it. Everybody's doing it.
Join the club.
Join the club. That's Brandon's thing. But like I do this because I enjoy these type of things, and it gives me a reason to speak to people outside of my normal
Right.
norm,
For
connect
sure.
with people that I already know, and to learn some new shit.
Yeah,
Which
it definitely does all that. It really does. I've done a lot of interviews, and um, I learned first, starting out as a guest, that is,
yeah.
that it was really, really therapeutic for me. And I didn't think that that would be part of what it is. But yeah, it's its own really interesting energy and art, if you will, podcasting. I think that there's so much that can come from it. I've had also like people will email and say, like, I was feeling so down, I was thinking about giving up, and they heard something and they felt inspired. Another one uh, connected me to his girlfriend, and I ended up training her to become a dog trainer.
Oh,
And that was the $25,000. Like
holy
that was a
shit.
really good podcast show.
Yes. Well, if there's anybody out here that's ever thought about it, Ryan's got you.
Yeah.
So you can, he could, but like, yeah, I mean, there's something, to me, I used the word cathartic before.
Hmm.
And I told you, I was like, I'm not here to talk about or bring up everybody's trauma. I try to be careful when I talk about stuff because I don't want to depress people or be like, oh, it's the downer show and they're just talking about shit that like womp womp womp. Let's talk about something else that happened. Like everybody has had shit happen. Like literally,
It's true.
that's the human experience, bro.
Mhm.
But like for me, I'm always like, I don't want it to be for nothing. And what podcasting has allowed me to do is I've always wanted to entertain and have my own show. This is a way to do that. But also, like you said, therapeutic, cathartic, whatever. It's that openness and ability to be vulnerable. And you know what? The world is not hearing you. Like the world is hearing you for sure, but not as much as the world hears you. I mean, it gives you the opportunity, like it's not forced watching. If anybody wants to hear our conversation today, they literally have to go and seek this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
And what an honor that is, right? That they came and they found
Sure,
us.
yeah.
And they
Yeah.
just listen to us talk over coffee, whatever, driving. Some chick told me she was working out the other day. It was a friend of mine, not some chick, it was a friend, a chiropractor, no less. She's like, you're just really entertaining to listen to work out. And I was like, oh, 2 days later, someone told me I put her to sleep. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Not
She's
by
like, "You're
choking her
so-"
out either.
No,
The
she said,
show.
no, that was, well, I'll talk to her about that. But she's like, no, she said, and I know she listens, so I want to be careful. She's like, I hope you don't get offended or I hope you don't get creeped out, but your voice and the cadence of your voice is very soothing. She corrected it because at first she's like, I listen to your podcast and it makes me go to sleep at night. And I was like, does that fucking make you sleep at night? I put you to sleep, I'm boring, And she's like, no. What I meant is that it's soothing and I like listening to it and I can just kind of, I'm like, I listen to meditation to help me fall asleep. And it takes magnesium and progesterone.
You don't need none of that stuff. Just listen to the show.
Now I'm just going to if you have children out there, just turn on my show.
Yeah.
And I'll just put you to sleep.
Crying stops. Kids are asleep faster than they ever have been. All that.
But I mean, if someone's spending the time here to do that, it's like at least we can have fun while we're doing it. And then if they get something out of it, which they will, because your experiences that you shared, who you are, what you've brought is going to connect with people and it definitely will help somebody. You would not be here and I would not let this go live if it wasn't.
Yeah, for me, that's what it's all about. I love helping people. Travel and helping people are like my biggest passions. And so, yeah, I hope that something does resonate with your audience and I'm always just always here to serve. Like that's my heart. My heart is here to help people.
So real quick on traveling, where is the last place that you've been and where is the place that you want to go?
Okay. Last place I went to was Costa Rica. I go there pretty often to train dogs.
Okay.
And the next place that I want to really check out, Japan.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was stationed in Korea, so I did that. Love Korean barbecue. But Japan I've been really called to, and I wanna go and see if it matches all the hype because everyone that I talk to says just so many good things about it. But yeah, I think I wanna check out Japan and Italy too. I've done
Yeah,
Italy, but I wanna do a road trip through Italy too as well. I really wanna do a road trip.
I
What
have
about you?
well, the place I would like to go, I like actually Costa Rica has been high on my list of just places to check out. My husband brings up Belize a lot because
Oh,
there's
yeah.
fly fishing, and apparently it's like amazing fly fishing.
Right.
It's like the thing that he like brings up all the time, always. So that's like a bucket list thing. But mine is Spain. My
Spain. Oh,
father
yeah.
is from there.
Yeah.
And, this is actually a piece of Spanish silver
Oh,
that was I
cool.
can't remember the name of the ship, but it was like the largest treasure ever discovered in Key West, and I actually just met one of the treasure hunters, and she
Whoa, that's
told me
cool.
so this is forged out of one of the silver bars, so the
Wow.
pieces are in the museum, right? So they're not gonna actually, like,
Cool.
give us the piece to buy, that would be so much money, but this was, like, it was forged out of that, so we go into this little jewelry shop, and the woman tells us, like, she was on the excursion for over a decade or whatever, and she found out on the Tonight Show
Hmm.
in the 80s that her share she thought was hoping to get, like, 10 grand, maybe she'd help her buy a house or whatever because 'cause they're in Key West. Over $2,000,000 was her share.
Wow,
Everybody
okay.
got over $2,000,000 that was on the crew, and
That's
then she
cool.
got, like, 13 bars of silver, and then she bought that shop, and she bought a beautiful house in Key
Wow,
West
that's cool.
ever
I love
since.
that.
Yeah. Like, really cool lady. But, yeah, so I was like, "Oop," I got this because I was like, "I gotta have a piece of it that's,
That's
like,
cool, that's
part of my
cool.
history," you know? And I've been wearing it every day. I feel like I'm, like, super connected to it, and I don't know why, but
Nice.
yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
well,
know.
it's your
My
it's
ancestors were
yeah, that's what I was about to say, yeah.
pirates or
Yeah, that's cool. It's meaningful to you rather than something that just looks nice.
Well, my father passed when I was, like, super young, and I
Mm,
just didn't get the opportunity to learn more about his culture before he
mm,
died, you know? So,
that's
I have
tough.
all these, like, older siblings that are well, not all, I have a few left, but it's they're all, like, 30 plus years older than me or the ones that are left, and, yeah, there just wasn't that opportunity to learn a lot about it, so I
Right.
wanna go there and just see it for myself.
Yeah, I hope you do. It's cool. I did Spain when I was in the army, and there's a lot of cool I think Spain's cool because it has, like, different vibes depending upon what you wanna experience. You could do the party thing, you could do the beach thing, you could do, like, the very quaint kind of country thing, countryside. Yeah.
So, with your job and your traveling, if it's taking you to Costa Rica, how far will you travel
Oh,
to?
I'll go anywhere. Yeah, I travel the world to train dogs. With if someone's wanting me to go to another country, obviously it has to be like they feel like I'm their person and it's a lot of logistics and it's pricey. But yeah, that's something that I do for people where it's like the dog just really means a lot and they really need it resolved. But yeah, it's like thousands.
Well, and you do speaking too, right?
Yeah, yeah. I started with, 2 TEDx talks back in 2019.
I'm so
So
honored that you're here.
that was fun. Oh, no, the honor's all mine for sure. And yeah, so the speaking I'm doing now is with Instinct to Impact through the experiential learning workshops, and then, again, rather than just speaking, I do the workshop with then tying it all together by way of public speaking. Yeah.
Okay. Is Instinct to Impact a website URL? So if someone was
Yeah,
going to instinct to with the
instinct2impact.com.
number two,
Yep,
instinct
exactly.
to impact.com. And then your other website is
That's the
worldofdogtraining.com.
one.
And
That's
you've
the one.
got
That's the Instagram too.
all your information on there too. And I was gonna say, as well as your Insta as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
So, you give a lot of different just insights and tips and things, and they're just kinda cool to follow. I followed you.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I
I
would
followed you back.
encourage I appreciated that. And you know what? Something before I go, that I thought you did that was very cool
What's
is
that?
that you and I admired because I'm bad at doing this for myself. So this is like the running joke of me and my marketing company is that I don't do my own marketing. It's
It's
just like
normal.
that's so typical. And any marketing person, if they're like actually good at what they do and you look at their stuff, like they probably don't have a huge market because they're actually working. At least that's
Yeah,
my
they do it
problem.
for everyone else.
But what I appreciated about what you did was that you created a story based off of something that happened during our
Oh
conversation.
yeah.
And then you tagged me in it. And then I remembered it. I connected with it. And then I even reshared it.
Oh, thank
And I
you.
thought, that made a lot of sense. I know that you were doing it just because you're like, oh, I was talking to her about this.
Yeah.
But as far as a engagement perspective and a
Mm,
standpoint of that too, and even pre-promotion for the show,
right.
I thought that was really great.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that. It was just like a genuine kind of thing. And I was frustrated for the guy that wasn't willing to be different about his situation. And that sucks because, he was so embarrassed and so frustrated, yet won't take action. So I was kind of trying to share, not to like talk down upon anyone, but rather
No.
like inspire for
Well,
action.
what we had was looked like an authoritative type figure you mentioned. He probably looked like an undercover or something. He had a
Oh,
dog. He was probably, you're supposed to be in control of that situation too. Like one, and that's a personality type thing. Like, damn it,
yeah.
The other part about it is like his job is to be in control of the dog. Like that's your job, bro. Like if you're with the
Yeah.
dog, it's a job. So then it's embarrassing for him. And that's like, some people don't take that well. Like they don't like, he could probably go back if he's like an emotionally intelligent person. He might go, I could have been a little bit less harsh on or a little bit less abrasive because that person was just trying to help me instead of be defensive out the gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
So
wasn't defending against you. He's defending because he wasn't doing he didn't think he was doing
yeah, and he was embarrassed. There was people behind him in the line, and some lady's like, "Should I just go around?" Because he was like next, but he couldn't go because he was trying to get the bone or the out of the dog's mouth,
just
but
get
he
the damn
couldn't.
tag and buy the fucking bone. The dog's already chewing it up anyway.
That's what I was.
Like
Yeah,
buy it. You have to buy it. Your dog's already chewed it. Like
that's where my mind was like, did this guy buy that or not? And then if not, the dog like already ate it. Is that like
You're
stealing?
just an inconsiderate asshole. You were the guy at the grocery store that doesn't put the fucking cart away. You're the
Oh
guy
yeah.
that leaves it on the other side of the parking lot. And you know what? That's you. That's who
Yeah,
does that. That's
yeah.
that guy. You're inconsiderate. Because if you put that back on,
Sometimes.
that's some shit. It's like taking grapes and then putting the grapes back.
Uh-huh. So that's the thing, man. Like sometimes being a good person's not always the easy thing to do, but it's the right thing.
But you always feel so much better when you do the right
Oh
thing.
yeah,
If you
facts.
even like, there's little things where it's like I could leave this here, and then it will haunt me.
Yeah, I feel like
The
shit all
smallest,
day.
stupidest thing for doing it, and it's like I'm trying to even come up with a thing. But if I didn't put the cart away, that shit would bother me. That would be
Yeah,
something that would bother me. I don't know if it's a we're so hard on ourselves thing, or it's just because I'm hard on other people, maybe.
yeah.
And no, I just want my expectations to be this, like, whatever, but I'm not perfect and I do shit. But like, yeah, it bugs me when I do it. For
It's probably
sure.
all of the above. I can totally relate. I'm that person as well. Yeah. But I wasn't always. I was very self-centered, and this kind of thing. It didn't have that awareness. And then, once you start to see things from a different lens, there's no undoing it. You can't go back.
Yeah. Yep. And once you own your story and who you are, and you know that people are just going to have to accept what they have, what they see,
Hmm.
but the world will find you, and the ones that want to pay you $10,000 and $25,000 for your services are going to fucking find you, as you just found out very
Yeah.
clearly the last decade and a half. And it doesn't matter what your story is. In fact, you telling your story makes you more valuable because you actually
Hmm.
have life experience, and you're not a shitbag.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, so that's why I'm open with owning my story and my
Hmm.
experiences, even my drug stories, because, well, they happened and I'm here and I'm still doing the thing and I'm still a good person,
Yep.
which is really all we can ask for.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you being here and you sharing and your time and just meeting you and connecting with your spirit. Rather, this was just a really fun afternoon.
It was great. Yeah. Thank you. No, I appreciate whatever you saw in me for wanting to have me on the show. You're real easy to talk to. Thanks for being such a cool host and being so
I
open too.
You made it easy because I had had some stuff, or I had a procedure. I got my boobs done. You're the first to know. Okay. There you go. You're like, we'll just
Congrats.
piece it here because it's going to be obvious when people see my photos. But yeah, I didn't. whenever anything, I had a lot of surgeries at the Mayo Clinic 6 months before this. And
Wow.
it makes no fucking sense. Like, why would you do that when you just did this? Well, it's because I needed some control. So I got my control back. And I'm kind of back in control. But the part is like, sometimes I just don't want to. And I don't want to connect with people. And and then I think to myself, do people care if this podcast keeps going? And am I spending all this energy and time and resources in something that just doesn't matter? Because why? Am I doing it for my hobby? And then people will tell me that I put them to sleep, or that I, that they can get stressed out and work out with me, or if I'm at the jewelry store, that they were listening to me because that just happened. And then someone will connect me with someone like you. And I actually want to. So I know people will appreciate this conversation because we wanted it to happen. It was not
Absolutely.
forced. So
Absolutely.
yes.
No, it flowed
We're
for
going to do
sure.
it again. We're going to do it again. And when you have your show someday, I would love to be a guest.
Okay.
Because you
Once
need your
I do, it's on.
Awesome.
You got it.
Well, this was Ryan Matthews, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to have all of his socials and his website with World of Dog Training all over there. Thanks again.
Thank you. It's been great.